It's like my favorite store ever.
Aw, thank you.
That's good news for 31-year-old Dominique Macheca, who's the owner of Paper Doll Vintage Boutique in Sayville. To truly understand her business background, we have to go back to when Dominique was 7 years old.
Even as a kid, I would bring lollipops to school and have a lemonade stand.
And it continued into her tween years when she would sell antique items online.
So my mom would take me to different garage sales and estate sales, and I would find things, and she was really into antiques. And I started selling those things when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old on eBay using my parents' credit card information.
When Macheca got older, she worked for a craft kit manufacturer and even as a bartender in Smithtown. She would also sell clothes through eBay and Etsy. When the economy got bad, Dominique thought she would take her years of business experience and decided to open her own store.
Certain ones like these I could either get custom made, or this one I order, so I could get a bunch of these in bulk.
Paper Doll Vintage Boutique focuses on styles from the 1920s through the 1970s.
The styles and pieces are so unique that it's something that nobody else is going to be wearing, so it's fun to find those unique items that really help define who you are and what your taste is.
The oldest piece of clothing is a dress that dates back to the late 1800s, early 1900s.
It's very, very delicate. It's got whaleboning on the inside. It's got a lot of fine detailing here, and it's more of a display piece than it would be a wearable.
She also sells jewelry made right here on Long Island. But this isn't your typical jewelry.
It's called Bone Trail Jewelry, and they're made out of animal bones. They kind of look like a cameo. It's all cruelty-free. We have rings and necklaces and brooches and a bracelet.
And these are real bones.
They're real bones.
Dominique says there are mainly two types of customers: the party and event people, and those who love unique and vintage clothing. Lisa Candela of Medford is shopping for her daughter's wedding.
I always say she's a reborn vintage girl somewhere, but I love just all the old looking styles.
About 5 years ago, when Macheca was putting the business together, she started taking classes at the Small Business Development Center.
That helps you kind of figure out what a business plan is and how to put together a business plan, which really put a lot of what a store is in perspective and what it really takes. Because when you put together a business plan, you put together the monthly costs of rent, of utilities, of what your expenses are personally, so what you need to bare minimum pay yourself to kind of live off of, the cost of inventory.
And the costs were staggering.
And once you really put all those numbers down, it's a lot more than anybody would really expect.
Understanding what it takes to start a business might have delayed the opening, but she wouldn't want it any other way. Dominique recommends other future business owners follow her lead.
I'm glad I took my time opening the business. I would say to anybody interested in opening a business is to take your time making the decisions. Wait for the right space, wait for the right time, wait till you have enough money and preparation in order to open a business.
To give Paper Doll Vintage extra exposure, Dominique hosts events throughout the month, and there's even a yearly fashion show. There's a themed art show opening on the first Friday of every month. The show we attended had a love theme. This event brings in people of all ages. The store gets so busy, Dominique even has to break out her old bartending skills.
The art shows bring a lot of interest into the shop. A lot of people come in, they're exposed to the store that may have not been. The artist's family and friends come to the store.
This also allows Dominique to promote Long Island artists. Jessica Valentin of Oakdale is displaying 2 pieces of art. Both are in honor of her late husband, who passed away of cancer just weeks before the opening of the art show.
There's a vibe of, great characters that live on the island that want to create interesting art. So this is a great place for us to showcase that.
The boutique sells both vintage and reproduction clothing. The profit margin for both styles is about the same. The difference is the overhead cost involved with selling vintage clothing.
Not only is it the cost of the item itself, but it's the time that I spend obtaining findings. I also get everything cleaned or repaired, and then that goes into the cost.
60% of her income is from vintage clothes. 40% comes from the reproductions. The average dress price is about $50. All profits are invested into the website and into the launch of the e-commerce store.
It's a lot of responsibility, and I'm constantly working every day, all day, in some capacity or another on the business.
And that's how this enterprising lemonade stand owner turned her small business into a repeat Best of Long Island vintage clothing store winner.
I love my shop. It's like my baby, and every little thing that happens and every little like graduation the store has and every event that's successful like really like hits it like right here to me. It's really like a personal kind of accomplishment and goal.